Hi, this is Tom from tombell.co, sharing actionable cycling training tips to help improve your performance. And in this video, I'll be going over how to warm up like a pro. Now, warming up is something we all know we should do before a race or even a hard training ride, but many of us are at a loss as to how to actually warm up properly and what goes into a good routine. So in this short video, I'll explain how to warm up and then try to offer some practical pointers at the end of the video that you can put into practice yourself. So the first thing to say is that what makes a good warm up for you as an individual will depend on a variety of different factors. The first of these is obviously the nature of the ride or event that you're actually warming up for. For instance, if the event is short and highly intense, maybe like a time trial, it'll require a very different warm-up protocol to something like a 100-mile sportive. Secondly, the warm-up routine will be affected by your current state of fitness. For instance, if you train 20 hours a week, you should generally be using a longer warm-up than someone who maybe trains 10 hours a week or hasn't been riding for that long. In this case, for one cyclist, a longer warm-up would be helpful to performance, and for another it might just take away precious energy that they'd be better using in the race. Despite these variables though, there are some general guidelines that apply to good warm-ups. The first is that a warm-up should increase specific muscle and whole body temperature, which has been shown to promote increased athletic performance. Therefore, a good strategy to use is one of heat maintenance. This is where you perform your warm-up exercises and then retain the heat generated by maintaining movement like riding around easily and/or by wearing warm, insulating clothing which minimizes heat loss. Insulated jackets and thermal tights work especially well for this, but any warm clothing will do, especially if it's a cold day outside. The next strategy that you can use is moving your warm-up closer to the start of your race or your ride. For example, if you typically start your warm-up maybe 45 to 50 minutes before the start, and spend around 15 minutes actually warming up, you're likely to see improvement in heat retention and subsequent athletic performance by shifting your warm-up forward by around 20 minutes. Although this precise example might not always be applicable, the principle of moving the warm-up as close as possible to the start of your ride or race is something to always keep in mind. A third strategy is manipulating variables like duration, intensity, and recovery in the right way. From personal experience and qualified by academic studies, it appears that a general best practice strategy is to design a warm-up with the following characteristics. Number 1, include portions of high intensity into the warm-up after a sufficient level of low intensity. For example, 10 minutes at zone 1 and zone 2, followed by some intervals at zone 5. Number 2, split the warm-up into 2 parts, where the first part might be performed 1 hour before your ride, and the second half as close to the start of your ride as possible, as we talked about before. And number 3, use the heat maintenance techniques we learned about earlier in the period between the first and second part of this split warm-up. So those are just some of the factors that affect how good of a warm-up you can actually perform. By applying these tips and strategies to your warm-ups, you might just find that you can make small improvements to your performance and ultimately ride a better race or workout. Now, to help you improve your stamina on the bike, I've put together a workout guide with 3 training sessions that help to add 1 to 2 hours to your cycling endurance. Click the card appearing now in the top right of the screen to access your free guide. I promise you'll like it. As always, please help me out by liking and sharing this video if you found it at all useful, and leave any comments and questions below this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on another video soon.